Wow, you're welcome to our channel. I'm happy to have you here today. My name is Morayo and I am the host on this channel. Welcome. Sit back, relax and enjoy. Okay, so we're continuing our series, the latest Nigerian mommy in town, and today we're going to be talking about something a bit more serious. It's not story time, okay? We're going to be talking about prenatal care in Nigeria, okay? So yes, what have you heard about prenatal care in Nigeria? I'm sure they've not been pleasant stories. Most of what I heard before I put to bed were very unpleasant stories, especially of the general hospitals, of how nurses were mean, or how nurses were nasty. Even for my friends and my family members, I heard all sorts of stories. So I kind of prepared my mind, but there's more, there's better, there's good, okay? And I'm here to tell you that there is more. It's not all nasty. Being pregnant in Nigeria comes with its own difficulties already. Being pregnant with the pandemic going on comes with extra difficulties. Being pregnant when there was, in quotes, NSAS, the pandemonium, it comes with its own difficulties. But amidst all of it, it is not as bad, and I'm here to tell you that. I'm here to, hopefully it gives you some form of comfort, okay? It is not as bad if you have, or if you're being attended to by wonderful sets of practitioners. So last week I was telling you about how I went to a clinic. So I will call that clinic that I went to Big Clinic, because that was the first clinic I went to. I told you that at 12 weeks, I was told by Big Clinic that I could not come in with my husband to do another ultrasound to check what was happening with the gestational sac that they said was inside me. And why was that? Because our case wasn't an emergency. Of course I felt hurt. Of course I felt confused. But I was gingered, to look for somewhere else, and I'm glad that I took that decision. And I would like to tell you that if you're not satisfied with where you currently are, it's not too late to look for somewhere else, okay? Even if you're just starting your journey, I would advise that I'm going to share some criteria in this video, I hope that it will help you to, go around, go check in different clinics, ask from your friends and family members, and use these criteria I'm going to share before you decide on where you're going to end up, doing your prenatal care, okay? So let's get right into the video. When they told me about my restriction, I couldn't come to the clinic at 12 weeks, I called up my friend that I had done her, I told you I went to help a friend during her delivery, and I was even there to take pictures. So I called her up and got the address of, the hospital. It wasn't too far from my house, but I kind of forgotten exactly where. So, or exactly what, because it wasn't just in my mind that I would be using it so soon at the time of her birth. So anyways, I called her up to confirm, how nice are they also to check how were they during your prenatal care, because I only met them on one day. Even though on the day I met them, they were quite good. She said they are amazing. So person also used them. Called up another friend, to ask about the same clinic, because quite a number of our friends, my husband and I had used that clinic. We even met people there later, said that we didn't know that they were attending the place. So when I satisfied my curiosity with my husband, we went, and you can do a scan there without necessarily paying for care. So I did not go there to enroll for prenatal care. I just wanted to go and do a scan to check what was inside my gestational sac. So I got there, and with how professional, how nice, how passionate the OBGYN was, we decided to enroll for prenatal care with this clinic that I will call small clinic. So big clinic and small clinic. Anyways, big clinic had its own advantages. Big clinic was obviously big clinic. Big clinic is the place where you want to deliver. It's very big, very neat, has a lot of professionals, you know. Small clinic is small clinic, but small clinic had more passionate workers, more passionate professionals, especially the OBGYN. And small clinics doctor seemed to know what she was doing better than big clinic. So here are my 3 criteria, you know, based on small clinic and big clinic for choosing where you would get prenatal care. Number 1 is go to where you feel safest. Go to where you feel safest. I felt so, after the first conversation I had with OBGYN from small clinic, I felt so safe, you know. I felt like, and also based on recommendation, to be honest, friends had already recommended them as, you know, being excellent, being really good. So the first thing you want to do is go to a place where you feel safe. Their rooms, their toilets, the corridors are clean, the professionals they know what they're doing, they're really good, you know, based on recommendation, based on what you've seen as well. And the atmosphere, the attitude of the people inspires, you know, you to feel safe. They are kind, they smile, they are warm. These little things. Big hospital and big clinic, they are professional, they know what they're doing, but they are not as warm. So you know that if anything happens, they may not take your matter on their head like that. If you die, you die. Sorry to say. But yeah, you get what I'm saying. So go to a place that inspires safety in you. Go to a place, you know, that is not too far from your home. Both clinics were not too far from my home, to be very honest, you know. Though small clinic was closer, relatively closer than big clinic, but both were not too far. So please, I know in the bid to go to the best clinic, you may find somewhere that is really good but far. If it's like that, when it's getting close to that period, go and look for where you stay that will be close, because anything can happen. At from 36 weeks you can deliver, and even before that anything can happen. You don't want there to be an emergency and then you're stuck in traffic, which happened with me, not me, my mother. You know, the hospital was it wasn't so close to home and there was traffic, so she had already started delivering me in the car. So you don't want that to happen. That's not a very funny experience. You don't want that to happen to you, okay? Then the third thing I would advise is go to a place where you vibe, the vibes fit you and you can be free, you know. You can easily ask questions. It's important that you do not feel shamed for asking any type of question. In fact, be pressured to ask questions. So in big clinic, there was this don't ask questions kind of vibe that I got, especially from the OBGYN. She didn't have our time. There were too many people to attend to. Also with the big clinic comes more people, so I can't really fault her to an extent. But with small clinic, she can spend 1 hour asking, how are you? Is there anything? Tell me, talk to me, I want to understand. You can call me any time of the day, ask any question. So that kind of person, she literally forced me out of my shell. She pulled me out. I was free to say my mind, ask any question. Stupid or not stupid, okay? Also, the next thing is we talk about 3 things now, you know, safety, close to you, where you vibe. The 4th thing is go to a place where you are free to give instructions. You know, you don't want to go to a place where people feel they're doing you a favor. You want to go to a place where there's mutual respect and you can tell them this is what I want. Now, for big clinic, it wasn't like they were disrespectful or anything like that, but there was this you can't really question me, can't really question us thing. Like, I'll give you, when we were 12 weeks and I was like, so is knowing whether my baby is there or not an emergency? And they're like, no ma, it's not an emergency. You know, you can't really break rules for me. You can't really, everything is kind of fixed. The protocol is too strict to the extent that, okay, also birth plan. I want to bring a birth plan, madam, we have a way we do things here, all those kind of things, you know. You can't really give them an instruction. I want to hold my baby close for a while, you know. There's no negotiation, you know. But with the small clinic, before she already told me, bring your birth plan. So we brought our birth plan and she went through it with us. It wasn't as if everything they did for us. It wasn't as if they were our puppets. You know, we had a discussion based on, she's like, oh, based on this, we may not be able to do this. Oh, based on this, your safety comes first. The safety of the baby and yourself comes first. So so you have to put a clause to this, your birth plan, you know. And we went through the birth plan, corrected the birth plan way before the day of the delivery. You know, go to a place where you can give them instruction. Full stop. Okay. Moving on. The last thing I would say, which is the fifth thing, is go to a place that, you know, inspires the picture of birth that you have in your mind. Whether we like it or not, whether you like it or not, there's a picture of birth you already have. Based on movies, based on books, based on whatever, your friends' stories that you have. So what is the picture of the perfect birth that you have? Let me help you if you do not have an image. Let me paint a picture in your mind. Based on the videos that I watched, the researches that I've done, and attending my friend's birth experience with her, I pictured a place where my spouse will be there to support me. I pictured a place where I will be free to shout as I want, to be who to be free. I wanted to be naked, I wanted to go on the floor, everything I wanted, my birth plan, everything. I wanted a place where I could be me, okay, without judgment. So definitely, if I was going to deliver, please let me deliver in a room to myself with help. I wanted a place where I could document the birth experience. For me, it's still very important to preserve such memories, okay? And like that, some of these were my basic ideas of birth. You know, out of all of these three, the big clinic didn't even answer anyone. Your spouse cannot be in the room with you when you are delivering, madam. The second one, you may be delivering in the room with another woman. And that is also why your spouse cannot be there with you. If you are lucky, the day you are delivering, there's no woman there, well. But if you are not lucky, you're going to deliver, it's only one room, 2 beds. Okay. And then we do not allow pictures, sorry. We do not allow videos, sorry. It's not allowed. Why? It's not allowed. Meanwhile, small clinic was like, of course, we even want your spouse to be there with you, to support you. We notice that it aids the delivery process, it aids the birth process. And then also, if you want to take permission for anything, it's right there. Oh, beautiful, you want to document it, you're free. Oh, you have a birth plan? Okay, let's review it together. So, you can see that it was very easy for me to choose small clinic over big clinic. There were other things though, which I don't think is necessary for me to, say in this video, so it's not like I'm dissing big clinic. I really appreciated the nurses in big clinic. But yeah, those few things were the things that inspired where I eventually preferred, to give birth in. And I was attending both of them's prenatal care. I found a way to alternate it, so I fixed different times for each of them. So let's now go into prenatal care. What happens when you go into the hospital? Per trimester, we have basically like 4 trimesters, but it is 3 trimesters that are registered medically. So per trimester, for your first trimester, you're supposed to like come in once or so throughout the entire first trimester, and that's towards maybe twice when you find out, and then towards the end, 12 weeks. Then for 12 weeks, you'll be registered for antenatal. That's what it's called. Antenatal care. So when you're registered for antenatal, for your second trimester, you're to come in once every month for a routine check, and you'll be giving your routine drugs in that period of time. While in your third trimester, you're to come in twice every month because things have gotten a bit more serious. So yeah, when you come into the hospital, this I'm sharing for those who are just curious. If you've given birth or you're pregnant, you'll probably already be experiencing this. But if you're just curious, I'm just sharing with you. When you come into the hospital for a routine check, a typical routine check goes: you come in, you stand on the scale. You're going to be weighed like a chicken at every antenatal care routine check. Yes, you're going to be weighed like a chicken, because over time you're supposed to gain 14 to 16 kg, roughly about that, in pregnancy. Yeah, you're going to gain a lot of weight, but they're not biggie. We'll talk about all these things later. Then the next thing they're going to check is your blood pressure. They're going to check how, because I think your blood pressure, is it that it reduces? Anyways, please, they'll check your blood pressure, sharp. Then they're going to take blood samples. Oh my God. The fear of needles is the beginning of needless pain and sorrow. The fear of pills as well. Before this whole pregnancy journey, I was super scared of needles. In fact, I used to cry for the first 2 months or 3 months. I used to cry anytime I went to antenatal. I'll come out with tears in my eyes because of needles. But there's no point. Now I'm used to it. Now I'm in balance. You bring needle, I stay. I just turn my face. If I look, I can still do all those things. I can still form all the crazy things with ball. Then look away. So if you're like me, just look away. So go in and come out before you know it. And this one, just be shouting, speaking in tongues. I still do it. Okay, if you're not a Christian, just shout anything you want to shout. Put in the needle. So don't worry, disgrace yourself. A lot of people are scared of needles. It's okay. It's hospital. That's how it is. Moving on. So you'll also be asked to drop a urine sample for urinalysis. They're going to check whether you're having signs of preeclampsia, whether you're having signs of infection. They're going to put a dipstick, inside your urine to check all these things. I had infection once, and it's important that they find out these things. It's important that you do all these things. Drop your samples, please, because they're doing it for your own good. If that place, your VJJ, which is also your birth canal, has an infection, your child is going to be coming through an infected place. Imagine what the child will be carrying: all the head, all the eyes, all the everything. Please, don't do that to your child. So you're going to drop in your urine samples, and then you can now move on. You will write all the results, put it in your file, drop it with your OBGYN. You can now move on to the OBGYN's table or to our office where they will have an ultrasound to check, or it may be a Doppler. They just hear the heartbeat of the child, which is always super fast. Or you'll be fortunate enough to see your child in the ultrasound scanner thing, like computer face. I have a video. I hope I can find it and insert it in here. So yeah, that is it. That is what this video is about: prenatal care. I hope you learned something. I hope I did not bore you to tears. And I hope you will be here again next week. Thank you, and see you much love. Have a beautiful week. Love you.